Everyone, our lesson for today is about finding the standard equation of the ellipse given some of its properties. Now we have to take note from our previous discussion that there are two standard equations of the ellipse. First standard equation is given by the formula x minus h quantity squared over a squared plus y minus k quantity squared over b squared equal to 1, where h and k here represent the center or the coordinates of the center of the ellipse. And we have to take note from our previous discussion that a squared is always greater than b squared. Since the bigger number here is the denominator of x, therefore the graph of the ellipse class looks like this. The second standard equation is given by this: y minus k quantity squared over a squared plus x minus h quantity squared over b squared is equal to 1. And in this case, the bigger number here, which is a squared, is the denominator of the variable y. Therefore, the graph is like this one. Furthermore, the distance from the center to any of the foci is given by the variable c. Also, the distance from the center to any of the vertices is given by the variable a. And lastly, the distance from the center to any of the endpoints of the minor axis is given by the variable b. And we have to take note, a and b here could easily be found on the standard equation, whereas c squared, is given by the formula a squared minus b squared. Finally, class, take note that we have here the directrices of the ellipse, and the distance from the center going to the directrices is given by the formula a squared over c. Therefore, the distance from V1 to V2 is given by the formula 2a. The distance between E1 and E2 is given by 2b. The distance from F1 to F2 is given by 2c. And finally, the distance between the directrices is given by 2a squared over c. So in order to find the standard equation of the ellipse, we just have to plot the given properties into the Cartesian plane and then conclude whether the graph of the ellipse kay gatindog or gahigda. So you have to take note that if gatindog siya, we have a corresponding standard equation for that. And if gatindog siya, we also have a standard equation for that. So let's try this example, class. We are given with an ellipse with center at 4, -2, vertex at 9, -2, and focus at 0, -2. So again, we plot the given properties. 4, -2, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and -2 here for y. So we have here the center of the ellipse. 9, -2, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have here -2, so we have V1. And 0, -2. So we have 0 and -2. This is now your F1. So clearly, since the vertex and the focus are located on the left and the right side of the center, therefore, ang ato ang graph is something, or the ellipse is something na gahigda. And take note, if gahigda ang atong ellipse, the standard equation is given by x minus h squared over a squared plus y minus k squared over b squared equal to 1. So we have here the values of h and k already. Now we have to identify the values of a and b. Now take note from what I have said a while ago. A here is the distance from the center to the vertex. So ang ato lang buhatan is we just have to count from center to vertex. So we have here This is 4, negative 2. We have here 9, negative 2. So we have here 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Therefore, A is equal to 5. B here is the distance from the center to the end point of the minor axis. But since we are not given with the end point of the minor axis, we are only given with the focus of the ellipse. Now, take note, class, the distance from the center to the focus is given by the variable C. So, C will be equal to, let's count. You have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So, C will be equal to 4. And using the formula, b squared is equal to a squared minus c squared. So we have a squared is 25, c squared is 16. So we have here b squared will be equal to 9. Thus, okay, b is equal to 3. So we are now given with a, b, h, and k. So therefore, we can now find the standard equation of the ellipse. It's given by x minus h, which is 4, squared over a squared is 25 plus y minus k, or y minus negative 2 is y plus 2 squared over b squared, which is 9, equal to 1. This is now the standard equation of the ellipse given these properties. Example number 2. So we are to find the standard equation of the ellipse given these properties. The first one is you're given with the focus at 2, 3, another focus at 2, negative 7, and the eccentricity of the ellipse is 2 over 3, or 2/3. Okay, so again, we start with plotting the given points. So we have here 2, 3. So 2 is here, and then 1, 2, 3. So this point will be F1. Okay, and then 2, negative 7. So we have 2 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this one is F2. Okay, so clearly, even if only the foci are given, we can identify if ang atong graph is gahigda or gatindog. Okay, so clearly, since naa sa top and bottom ang foci, gatindog ang ato ang ellipse. Now take note, kung gatindog ang ellipse, the standard equation is given by y minus k squared over a squared plus x minus h squared over b squared is equal to 1. Now, as I have mentioned a while ago, the distance between the foci F1 and F2 is given by the formula 2c. Okay? So, in order to find 2c, we just have to count from F1 to F2. So, we have from here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So, 2c will be equal to 10. Thus, c is equal to 5. So, how are we going to find a and b? How are we going to use the eccentricity? Now, take note, we have a formula for the eccentricity. E is equal to c over a. And thus, 2/3 is equal to c over a. Pero, it does not mean that c is equal to 2 and a is equal to 3. If you can see here, c is equal to 5 and not equal to 2. So what we have to do here is to substitute the value of c here and then solve for the value of a. So we now have 2 over 3 is equal to 5 over a. Cross multiply. So we now have 2a is equal to 15. And thus, A is equal to 15 over 2. Okay? And then, we now have A and C. We can now solve for the value of B squared. B squared is again A squared minus C squared. So from here, 15 over 2 squared is 225 over 4 minus C squared minus 25. Okay, so solve for B squared. We now have the LCD is 4. So this is 225 minus 4 times 25 is 100. So therefore, B squared is equal to 125 over 4. So, pwede gihapog B squared tataman. Anyways, our standard equation here is just B squared. Okay? By the way, from here, this simply means that A squared is equal to 225 over 4. We now have A squared and B squared. But take note, wala pa tayo values ni H, okay? That is the center of the ellipse. But take note, class, ang center is always the midpoint between the foci. So therefore, since C is equal to 5, the distance from the center to the focus is 5, I'll just have to move 5 units from either F1 or F2. So from here, I'll move 5 units going to F2. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So therefore, this one will automatically become the center of the ellipse. And take note, the coordinates of the center here, we have x is 2, you have c size 2, and the ordinate plus is 1, negative 1, negative 2. So it will be negative 2. So you have here h is 2, and then k is negative 2. So, substituting the values a squared, b squared, and hk into our standard equation, we now get y minus k, or y minus negative 2, which is y plus 2 squared over a squared. A squared is 225 over 4 plus x minus h, we have x minus 2 quantity squared over b squared is 125 over 4 equal to 1. This is now the standard equation of the ellipse given these properties. Okay? Any question? Okay. For our last example, we are given with the value of b equal to 4 and c equal to 3. Furthermore, we are given with this one. The major axis of the ellipse is parallel to the y-axis, and the center of this ellipse is at negative 2, 3. So, of course, we have to plot the center at negative 2, 3. So, you have negative 2 here. And then y equal to 3. So, center is at this point. This is your center of the ellipse. Now, take note, class. The major axis is parallel to the y-axis. Okay? If this is the y-axis, then this is a line which is parallel to the y-axis. This must be our major axis. Of course, the major axis must pass through the center. And also, if this is the major axis, therefore, the foci are located on this line. Also, the vertices are located on this line. If the vertices are located in this line, therefore the endpoints are located on the side of the center. Therefore, clearly from here, we can simply conclude that the graph of the ellipse is something nagatindog. Again, kung gatindog ang ato ang ellipse, therefore we have the standard equation y minus k squared over a squared plus x minus h squared over b squared is equal to 1. We have here h and k. We have here b and c. To solve for a squared, applying the formula, a squared is equal to b squared plus c squared. So from here, we now have b squared is 16, and then c squared is 9. So that a squared is equal to 25. So we have a squared. We can also have here b squared equal to 16, and we have h and k. So therefore, the standard equation of our ellipse is now y minus k, which is 3, squared over a squared is 25, plus x minus negative 2 or x plus 2 over, squared over b squared, which is 16, is equal to 1. This is now the standard equation of the ellipse would be equal to 4, c equal to 3. Its major axis is along the y-axis, or parallel rather to the y-axis, and its center is at negative 2 and 3. Okay, so I hope you were able to get the lesson and you have understood all the examples. Okay, to check if you have really understood the examples, please try to answer the following practice problems. You have here 4 practice problems. Okay, so try this one and I hope you'll get all the answers. Okay, so thank you for listening. God bless.